Hello everyone, welcome to Villa Park. There's the north stand. I can't think of where that is in relation to inside the ground pad. Is that the end that Villa are attacking in the second half?
I think it is, mate, yeah.
The one that Conor Hurahan sealed his hat-trick
yeah.
in.
Very same.
So we've had a few minutes to digest, well, roughly a few minutes to digest Norwich's 4-2 defeat here to Aston Villa. Where do we lie on it? Because it did kind of have everything. It had a lot, that one, didn't it?
Yeah, it's going to take a few more minutes to digest that. It was quite a random game, really, sort of lacking in any shape, well, not plenty of shape. I mean, there was periods where Villa were very dominant, i.e. the first half, but then the second half it was just, I don't know, it's hard to put your finger on it, but I mean, more importantly, the head coach, we've spoken to him in there, and he's squarely of the opinion it was the first half where they were very poor, very poor. 2-0 could have been a lot more. Steve Bruce said they could have put 5 or 6 past Norwich, and I don't think he was lying, to be honest. So that's where the game got away from. The second half puts a bit more of an acceptable gloss on it, but you know, if you're going to concede 4 goals and possibly should have been a lot more, then there's plenty of work ahead, even though there's mitigation with 1 or 2 injury issues that have come out of the game.
Yes, indeed. Sorry, Pad. Angus was very good in that first half, and Norwich had a lot to thank him for. Where do you start by saying where it went wrong in the first half? Was it just the ball retention?
Yeah,
but then they were so open as well.
They were. But ultimately, if you set yourself up to have a team of technicians, particularly across the middle of the park, you know, Vrancic, Reed, Steeperman came in today, Naismith to an extent, then you need to retain the ball and you need to be good at it, because that's effectively what you're saying is that's our philosophy and that's what we think we're best at. Well, today though, I mean, Harrison Reed, as good as he was in midweek, and I think he did set up Josh for the first goal, but the amount of time he took on the first goal from Villa, which was literally just him, very poor pass, turnover, bang bang, and it's in the back of the net, Hurahan's first goal. And that was the theme all through the first half. Really sloppy in possession and slow and pedestrian and laboured and no tempo. And we saw it against Sunderland as well last Sunday. It's so easy for opposition banks of 4 just to shuffle back to the edge of their 18-yard box and then just wait, because Norwich will give the ball away. As it stands at the minute, this group of Norwich players are not incisive enough and not good enough in possession, which is the concerning element moving forward. I know it's early days, and as I say, there are injury problems, but if that is the way he wants to go about it, then they need to be a lot better at it, and the early evidence is suggesting there's plenty of work to do.
Yes, true. In the second half, they chased a bit better, and I mean, they got a couple of opportunities, and I guess ultimately they didn't get much of a rubber with the green in the second half. There was a deflected shot, obviously a lot of annoyance about handball in the build-up to the 4th goal, was it? But I guess they didn't earn that luck, did they, in the second half? But there was some improvement. I'm clutching at straws here.
Well, there was, but ultimately the first 15, because I think Josh Murphy scored around about the 60-minute mark. That first 15 minutes after half-time, absolutely no difference at all. You know, Villa were by that stage comfortable and quite happy just to take their time. Norwich never looked like they were going to do anything until a really nice pass from Reed and a good calm finish from Josh, who I thought, again, you know, one of the better players along with the goalkeeper. But it shouldn't take an hour to test the keeper, should it? So home or away. As I say, they were just, it can't have been a surprise that Villa would come at them with quite a ferocious intent, because there's a team who were absolutely desperate for a result. Their manager, although he's tried to downplay it in the post-match press conference, was under pressure. That's the sense we got coming here today, and so Norwich would have known what was coming, but yet they were just, you know, almost deferential in that first hour, and we cannot see that this season, because we saw that too often last season, where they basically got rolled over the top of, and they didn't seem to have the physical wherewithal or the urgency to cope with it, and you know, that was seen too often, too many times last season, and we've seen it too many times already for my liking already this season. As much as it's a work in progress, we understand all that. We understand it's a massive cultural shift for the players, what they're being asked to do, but within that you need to get to grips very quickly what the Championship's all about, and if you're not able to compete as well as be very good on the ball, then it's going to be a long season.
Sure. Nelson didn't play because he didn't start because he had a knock, I think was the underlying groin. But James Maddison, I got the impression that was maybe just being rested, or
I don't know. I didn't throw James Maddison at him. It was more Ivo Pinto, and then he volunteered Oliveira, and Marley Watkins as well had a foot problem. But I guess when you're down to relatively the bare bones, then it's needs must. Apparently Oliveira responded to some treatment this morning, did a pool session and felt he was okay to at least be on the bench, but clearly not in a position to risk him with a start. Came on and got his goal, so you would hope, as bad as the result is coming out of this, you don't want him missing for any great length of time. Sounds like Pinto was still struggling at training yesterday. He hasn't travelled. That's a concern because he's had a disrupted in pre-season. The only good thing, I suppose, is yes, the midweek League Cup game, then Millwall, then it's the international break, which gives them 2 weeks to hopefully get these lads fit and firing. But you know, on the back of Pritchard being out, on the back of Jamal Lewis now this week being out for a long term, Tim Close has not really been in and around it. They're not the biggest squad because that was part of what they were trying to do this summer was thin out the squad. And when you take the injuries that they're taking, it becomes apparent that they are going to be quite light, and it just feels a little bit like things are conspiring against them at the minute.
Indeed, absolutely. All right, well, apologies for the wind because I think it's a bit blowy and it's probably affecting our lovely new microphones, but never mind for that. 2 interesting games coming up then with Charlton and Millwall. The Den is always a nice easy place to go.
Yeah, no, I can't wait.
We'll leave it there. Thanks for watching, and don't forget PinkUn.com for all the continuing analysis and reaction after today and ahead of Tuesday. Till then.